Okay, from flooding in Brazil and Houston, Texas, to brutal heat in Asia, extreme weather seems to be nearly everywhere. And I know they say don't talk about the weather, but hello, and welcome back to another episode of Focus. And I think you're really going to be interested in this one. Okay, so flooding in Brazil and Houston, Texas, to brutal heat in Asia, extreme weather seems to be nearly everywhere. 20 years ago, they would say that you were making it all up. But with the evidence apparent all over the world, I dare you to say it's all a lie. Anyway, in sweltering Brazil, flooding killed dozens of people and paralyzed a city of about 4 million people. Voters and politicians in India, amid national elections, are fainting in heat that is as high as 115 degrees. That's 46 degrees Celsius. A brutal Asian heat wave has closed schools in the Philippines, killed people in Thailand, and set records there and in Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Maldives and Myanmar. Record temperatures, especially at night, when it just won't cool down, have hit many parts of Africa. Flooding devastated Houston, and the United States as a whole just had its second highest number of tornadoes for the month of April. In a world growing increasingly accustomed to wild weather swings, the last few days and weeks have seemingly taken those environmental extremes to an entirely new level. Some climate scientists say they are hard-pressed to remember when so much of the world has had its weather on overdrive all at the same time. Given that we've seen an unprecedented jump in global warmth over the last 11 months, it's not surprising to see worsening climate extremes so early in the year, said University Michigan Environmental Dean Jonathan Overpeck. If this record pace of warming continues, 2024 will likely be a record year of climate disasters and human suffering. Now, there's a heat tracker associated with this article, which is why I urge everyone to strongly check it out. It might tell you something about where you live or where you don't. But if you do get a chance to look at it, I advise you to look to the north, because the temperatures there are really strange. Anyway, I digress. Apologies. When the world is warmer, it is likely to have more extreme weather and climate events, including record heat and rainfall. Scientists say, and climate change is also changing weather patterns, leading to rainy and hot systems stalling over areas and the jet stream meandering, said Alvaro Silva, a climate scientist at the World Meteorological Organization. Adding to the stronger effects of human-caused climate change is a now weakening El Nino, or the Gulf Stream if you didn't know, or AMOC, a natural warming of parts of the Central Pacific that changes weather worldwide. That came on the heels of a 3-year La Nina, its cool counterpart. There's no light without day. Sylvia said, scientists also pointed to 13 straight months of record hot oceans as a potential factor in extreme weather. This all comes as the world just finished its 11th record-breaking hot month in a row, the European Climate Service Copernicus reported on Wednesday. The average global temperatures of 59 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius in April beat the old record from 2016 by a quarter of a degree, 0.14 degrees Celsius. Copernicus data set goes back to 1950, while other climate monitoring agencies go back to the 1850s, but have yet to report April calculations. Last month was a 1.58 degrees Celsius or 2.84 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than the pre-industrial late 19th century. The world in 2015 adopted a goal of limiting warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times, but it mostly applies to being that warm for a decade or more, not a month. While several factors play a role in this recent spat of extremes, climate change is the most important one, Sylvia said. The trouble is that the world has adapted to and constructed cities designed for 20th century temperatures and rainfall. But climate change brings more heat and more downpours, said Andrew Dessler, a Texas A&M University climate scientist. We're departing the climate of the 20th century right now, and we just can't handle these events, Dessler said. So they're getting slightly more extreme, but they're passing our ability to handle them. Texas Tech climate scientist Katherine Hayhoe, chief scientist for the Nature Conservancy, said more extremes in more places are overlapping. Climate change is loading the weather dice against us in every part of the world, Hayhoe said. What this means is that it is increasing not only the frequency and severity of many weather extremes, but also that the risk of compound events is increasing. In just the first 5 days of May, 70 countries or territories broke heat records, said climatologist Maximiliano Herrera, who tracks temperature records across the world. Nandyala and Kadapa in India's southern state of Andhra Pradesh set an all-time high at 115 degrees, like I said before, 46 Fahrenheit, 46.3 degrees Celsius, Herrera said. Nitin Gadkari, a federal minister, fainted during campaigning in the western Indian state of Maharashtra. Heat waves in India are by far the deadliest types of extreme weather events. At the same time, they are the type of extremes most strongly increasing in a warming world, said climate scientist Frederike Otto in a statement earlier this week. This week in Southeast Asia, it was the hottest May night ever, Herrera posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. Parts of Thailand didn't drop below 87.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 30.9 degrees Celsius. If you do know, that's decently warm. In late April, parts of northern Thailand hit 111 degrees or 44 degrees Celsius, while Kushak or Shuk township in Myanmar's hottest region hit a record 118 degrees Fahrenheit or 48.2 degrees Celsius. Many African nations are also facing scorching heat. Herrera said it hit 117.5 degrees Fahrenheit, or 47.5 degrees Celsius in Kayes, Mali. The capital of Niger had its hottest May night in Burkina Faso's capital, and Burkina Faso's capital had its hottest night for any month. In Chad, in North Central Africa, temperatures were expected to linger above 114 degrees Fahrenheit or 45.6 degrees Celsius for the entire week. The deadly heat wave felt across West Africa last month was also linked to human-caused climate change. According to scientists at the World Weather Attribution Group, in Mexico's Ciudad Altamirano, the temperature neared 115 degrees Fahrenheit or 46 degrees Celsius, with record heat all over Latin America. Herrera said Bolivia had its hottest May night on record and Brazil its hottest day in May. The record set in Brazil heat that stifled huge cities such as Sao Paulo also kept a rainstorm from moving over the country's south, turning it deadly, according to Francisco Aquino, a climatologist at the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul. There also was a massive influx of humidity from the Amazon's so-called flying rivers. Have you ever heard of that? The rivers in the sky? Or air currents that carry water vapor, Aquino explained. These cause clouds to generate extreme rainfall, he said, causing flooding all over Brazil on an entirely different level. The southern state of Rio Grande do Sul is reeling from the worst flood on record, with at least 90 people dead, nearly 240,000 displaced, and 388 municipalities impacted, according to the local authorities. In Porto Alegre, a metropolitan area with over 4.4 million inhabitants, the waters took over downtown, the international airport, and several neighborhoods. Authorities said it will take days for the water level to recede. Houston is still trying to dry out after days of heavy rainfall that required more than 600 people to be rescued from flooding across Texas, including 233 people in Houston. Just northeast of Houston, about 23 inches, 58 centimeters of rain fell. Meanwhile, April brought the heaviest rains ever recorded to the United Arab Emirates, flooding portions of major highways in the Desert Kingdom and Dubai International Airport, the world's busiest hub for international travel. And yes, I know you might have heard that they said it might have been of their own making with the cloud seeding that was done. But who knows? Borestein and Nashidam reported from Washington, Arisu from Bengaluru, India, and Massinova from Brasilia, Brazil. But like I said, Earth is amazing. How it can change what we know as life is amazing. But once again, thanks for sticking in and staying tuned and joining for another episode of Focus. I hope you stick around for the thoughts and facts section. You might be interested because I'm going to be going the other way. I know everyone's talking about rising temperatures, but I noticed something on that heat map. Like I said, you really need to check it out. Take care. Okay, so thanks for sticking around for another thoughts and facts section. And you know what? I'm gonna hit it up with this from the get-go. Fact is, climate change is real. Climate deniers can keep on proclaiming that it's all a myth, it's all scientists trying to get extra funding, it's nations, governments, campaigners, human rights organizations, a group of elderly women from Switzerland, or charities. Either way, the fact that temperatures have been in the extremes for the past couple of months is definitely a sign, how can you say it, from whatever power you may deem worthy. But the reality is, these temperatures are only up by a few degrees. And I mean, the heat, for the most, you might see at least maybe 8 degrees. In some places, it might be more. Maybe 9, maybe 12. But for me, what's really alarming and concerning is not only are global temperatures warming, they are also cooling to a very strange and dramatic degree as far as I'm concerned. Between the United States and Russia, I will use as my two prime examples. In the northern regions, which Russia mostly is, but let's start with America. In regions that are cold, or normally cold around these years, or this time of the year, their temperature difference is on average in the double digits, some as high as 16 degrees colder than normal for the month of May. Now, I know when you hear this whole climate change propaganda, if you want to call it that, it's your decision, your opinion, I suppose, as well as this being mine. With temperatures in the colder regions, like I said, being on average colder by at least between 10 to 15 degrees, to me, it's a little more concerning. Yes, not many people live in the northern part of the globe compared to the equator, but how can I say it? We've had our backs towards the oceans for so long that the seas have run amok. The AMOC, the meridian circulation current, or the Gulf Stream, El Niño, La Niña, however you might know it as, known by many names, but all with one purpose. What it is the flow of hot and cold water between the north and south. With temperatures rising, the concern is hot water, or how do they say it? Highly salinated water will increase or decrease because of the amount of fresh water being deposited into the oceans by the amount of fresh water being released by glacial recedance, melting, however you want to call it. The fact is, it is a little concerning to see that despite the temperatures in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere being considerably colder, the water or the ice melt or the ice around Antarctica in particular is gone. I don't know if you noticed, I've been talking about this for a while. If you were here last year and you listened to that episode, remember I predicted that there would be none. And at the time, there wasn't much there. And even then, I hate to say it once again, our best and brightest, as far as they were concerned, that ice would have still been there for at least the next 5, 10, 20, or 30 years. That was the time frame. 30 years from last year when they noticed the significant amount of ice loss around Antarctica. It's all gone now. Temperatures in Antarctica actually saw, I think, double digits as as well. Be it for a brief time, it was significant. The significance of that is the air temperature being warmer in Antarctica means, or what scientists initially predicted or thought way back at the beginning of this whole climate ghost, I should say. Or I should call it the climate nightmare right now. Scientists were under the illusion, I'm sorry to say, that increased rainfall in the northern and southern regions would have led to increased snowfall, which would have reinforced the ice shelves, which would have led to more ice around the islands, which would have led to more room for wildlife. Penguins have been decimated. A colony, practically an entire colony, starved, or I think they might have just died from the heat because there was no ice left on the island. Not only that, the polar bear numbers have decreased as well as the fact that there's no ice. Communities, certain villages that normally have a perpetual ice bridge of which they can use to cross over to the mainland, right now has none. And this has been their reality for how many months did they say we have been experiencing record high temperatures? 11 months. So for 11 months, islands in the north that have, as far as they're concerned, always been able to simply walk across ice that even then, as far as they're concerned, I'm not even saying walk, they would be driving. You've seen ice truckers, you've seen all of these things, you know this. The ice was solid enough to hold 14 wheelers, for crying out loud, 18 wheelers. And for ice of that thickness and density to be completely gone right now speaks volumes. Get the pun? But yet still, we aren't doing much about it. And the reason I'm saying this is because the fact that the warm water or warm rain falling in the northern and southern regions is what contributed to the severe amount of snow and ice loss around and in Antarctica. And it's such a weird and amazing world we live in, because despite this, in America, in the, snow-packed mountains where everyone goes skiing, snowfall has seen record-breaking amounts. 20 feet, 25 feet. The contrast to this nightmare we are in right now is, I don't know. Needless to say, scary does not do justice to what we are facing, what our children are facing. I really urge anyone and everyone to actually check out and look out this heat tracker. Another thing I found curious about it, and I know I didn't mention this though, but the tracker shows records, or its comparison is from 1991 or between 1991 to 2020. So these temperatures, bearing in mind that scientists all over the world, or the best scientists who basically ended climate warriors' careers, which gaslighted, sandbagged, threw them under the bus, destroyed them, however you want to look at it. The best and brightest looked at us and they told us that none of this would happen for at least 20, 30, 40, 50. Some of them even tried to say that even those estimates are a delusion. And the soonest we would ever see ice loss on this stage, on this scale, was 100 years. 100 years. 20 years ago, they destroyed people's lives and they lied to the entire world, making us believe that something like this could never happen. But this heat tracker, I will say again, marks temperatures between 1991 and 2020. That's only 4 years ago. 4 years. So, where every nation's best and brightest told us that climate change wasn't real, that ice would not disappear all over the world, that storms would not get worse, that ocean levels wouldn't rise for another 30 to 40 years. I think their algorithms, their simulations, hell, the AI they probably tried to use then got it really, really wrong by a matter of decades. Something they predicted within 40 years has happened in 4. So, right now I ask a serious question. What are we doing to the world and what are we leaving for our children? Because that's what everyone said. Climate change is just a dream. It's just an illusion. Whatever happens is going to be for the next generation. 4 years. So are our 4-year-olds going to deal with this problem? Because right now, governments have no choice but to look it straight in the eye and stare it down. We need to do something about this right now. Because only last year, they said that the ice around Antarctica alone would still be here now. It's gone. But once again, like I said, the earth is an amazing place. Not just the people, not just the places, but what we are doing to it, what we can do to it, and what we have yet to do to it. I hope that it is still here in some form, shape, or fashion. The world we know, or the world you knew growing up, is no longer the world we live in now. In 10 years' time, I am not curious. I am dreading to see what's going to happen. Hey, if Donald Trump gets into power, Russia and him are friends, right? But that's a whole different ball game and an entirely different episode. But once again, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Focus. Take care. Let no one spoil your zen. Let no one disturb your peace. Remember, carpe diem. Seize the day. Take care. For links to the articles, check out the episode description. If you want to leave a comment, check out the trailer description for the email address. For topics like these and more, check out future episodes. Like I said, the world is an amazing place. There's a lot going on, and sometimes we just need to take a moment to focus.